In this video today, we're going to be going over a common question: how can I grow my local business? I'm James Cook, and on this channel, I talk about investing online in digital real estate and growing your business. If you like that type of content, definitely click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of my future videos. Today, I'm diving in specifically on local business and addressing the common question that I get, which is, how can I grow my local business? After 11 years of working and consulting with local businesses, I have had the pleasure to learn a lot from that experience. Just like any business, there's really 4 key components, right, to growth in any business. Same thing with local business, which is 1, leads coming in, right? You want to generate leads. That's your marketing. There's all different types of marketing, whether it's, outbound outreach marketing, if you're a local business and you're doing, door knocking or cold calling, right? That type of marketing. And there's paid advertisement if you're running Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, if you're doing pay-per-click with Google. And then there's organic marketing as well, which is search engine optimization, leveraging your website and landing pages, which I'm big into, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later, like GMB. I think it's one of the best and underutilized and underrated things that you can be doing for your local business if you're not doing that already. And I'll talk more about that later, so definitely stick around to the end. The first thing is leads, right? Generating leads inbound. Once you're able to be generating leads on a consistent basis, the next thing is conversions and sales, right? Getting those leads to convert and selling them. You're nurturing those leads, converting them into sales. Now revenue's coming in, and then after that comes fulfillment with your service. You have to make sure that you're fulfilling it. And then after you're fulfilling it, the next layer is building that relationship with the customer and turning them into a raving fan, so you get more referrals and big brand exposure, which separates you from your local competitors and becoming that local authority figure within your space. Now, these 4 components are key for growth, but consulting with many local businesses, I've learned over the years that it's not just figuring this out, right? There's many other layers that we have to cut through and start dissecting and figure out. And the big thing is actually mindset when it comes to the local business owner. Even though these 4 components sound simple and they are what will drive and grow your business, there's so many layers for each component, right? I mean, I would spend here hours and hours, almost like a consultation of breaking down what needs to be put in place, the systems, and that's another thing, systems. I see so many times businesses not operating on systems, they're just all over the place. Another key thing that I see is the focus on one service. A lot of times we come in and we're going to want to build and explode the service that makes the most money and that you're really good at, right? And a lot of the times the business owner, they're all over the place. They want to start new services. They think that that's the answer to growing their businesses. They're doing a million different things. I actually just consulted with someone 2 weeks ago, and they're new. Their business is only a year old and they're growing, right? They're growing and they're advertising and marketing their one service. They moved into another service, and now they're telling me they want to add 2 more services. And I had to go, whoa, slow down. The time it's going to cost you just to get educated on those services, the equipment that they need for those services, and then they're going to spend more advertising on it. They're spreading themselves too thin, thinking that if they have more of these services, that more clients are going to come and they're going to make more money. But the truth is that's not how it's going to work. I consulted with them, and my advice for them is become an expert at one of the services, especially the one that's going to make the most money and also make them the most happiest doing what they really like to do and where they're most profitable. Become the best at that, and let's explode that service. And that's the first thing that I always tell local business owners is you should be focusing on that one thing. For an example, if you're a roofer, you should be focused on doing roofs. You don't have to do a million other things. You don't have to be doing swimming pools and patios and decks and building homes and doing kitchens and bathrooms, right? You're spreading yourself too thin. And when it comes back to that first component of generating leads, it's much easier to market yourself as the expert at that one thing, and you can leverage so much different creative content to do that when you're really good at one thing. So becoming an expert at that one thing and really telling yourself, I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to explode this service. It's very profitable for me. I know how to do it. I'm really good at it. And I can also scale it with a team. That's the other thing. You have to be prepared to be able to take on more work. If I'm talking and consulting with potential clients, local clients, one thing I always ask them, if I get you 20 new estimates this month, are you going to be able to fulfill that? Most of the time they'll say no, but we'll figure it out and we'll work together and we'll figure that out. But always, it's for one service. It's for one service that we're focusing on so that we can explode that and help them grow that part of the business with hiring the right talent and giving the talent what they deserve. Another bottleneck in your business could be that you're not hiring the right talent, you're not paying them the right pay that they should be at, right, to really perform what you want them to be performing. I see this time and time again. And, it comes down to you have to be willing to let the reins go, let someone else also be in control. If you need project manager, if you want to grow a real business, real company and make it grow, you're going to take a step back. And I always tell people, wouldn't you rather make a little less but grow year after year and not have to get your hands dirty and knowing that there's people out there that are going to do the right job and they're going to do the right thing and they're going through your training and your systems and your processes and they're getting the work done. And instead of doing one job a week, you're able to do 5 jobs a week. The only way that's going to happen is if you're hiring right and you're actually stepping back and you're letting other people come in and do what they have to do, right? You can't wear every single hat. You're not going to grow that way. You have to be willing to give a little, right? Focusing on that key service that you have, becoming an expert and training the right team and staff on how to fulfill on that, the best in your area, is really going to separate you. I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. And that's a Bruce Lee quote, and it really narrows down to you're an expert at that one kick, right? You're an expert at your one service. You're going to be so good at it because you do it so many times and that's all you focus on that you pretty much separate yourself on another level when it comes to your competitors in that area. And the mindset of really focusing on that one service, being committed that you're going to focus on that, you're going to grow it, you're going to be the best at that service. And everyone's in different local businesses. We work with a lot of home service providers, so roofers, HVACs, any contractors, and sometimes it comes down to also your presentation, right? The way you're presenting your product, also the products you use and the quality, right? Why is your product better than them? Maybe if you're a roofer, and I'm just going to use a roofer as an example, maybe your product is guaranteed for life. Not just that, maybe also most of your roofs are done in one day because you have a crew of experts that are trained and been doing this for 30 years, right? All these things make a difference because it's the perception of the person you're meeting with is like, wow, this company is going to get it done quicker. They're going to use a better product. This is all they do. They're done in one day. That's how you have to position yourself. And the idea is to create that product, to be so good at it, so profitable at it, knowing your numbers, having the right crew that you're just exploding that so you could just line up every day and just do roofs all day, right? Roofs, roofs, roofs. Not roofs and then kitchens and then cabinets and then bathrooms and then fixtures and then, right? Like there's too many things. Jack of all trade, master of none. You're going to be a master of that one thing, but in your local area, dominate it. And believe me, there's enough work, enough profitability, especially in some of these services, where you don't need to do anything else. Right now, if you grow and you max out and you're at a position, I'm not saying that you can never add other services. Of course you can. But especially when I see a business that's only around a few years and I can tell that they didn't max out. They never really focused on that one thing and really exploded it. You should be focused on that one thing, commit to that one thing, leverage everything that you can. And that's the other thing is like consulting with the right people so that you have the right systems in place. Organization, calendars, and different tools, right? There's so many things that you should be utilizing, softwares, and making it so that your job is easier and things are just streamlined for you, your team, so that's scalable. Hiring great talent, and I come back to that, is definitely a key thing. And I can't stress it enough. Just getting cheap employees because you want to save money and you're really not giving them the right training, it's just going to create headaches and become a nightmare, believe me. So hiring the right talent, paying them what they're worth or more so that you can really build a team of experts. And again, when those leads are coming in and then you're ready to fulfill, you need that team there. You can grow exponential when you have all these components done right with the right systems and processes in place. Another thing I will say is also confidence and the passion. And I don't mean ego. Ego is your silent killer. I see that a lot too. Ego is your silent killer. That cocky ego that thinks they know everything, you're gonna plateau, you're not gonna grow, right? And if you think you know everything, I mean, you shouldn't be watching YouTube videos then on how to grow your business if you already know. But if you are, it should set you back a little bit to get a little humbled and realize, you know what, if I really want to grow, I really want to do this, if I'm really passionate about this, I have to open up. I have to be coachable. I have to be willing to talk to others, willing to let go of the reins a little bit, willing to expand. If you keep doing what you've been doing for years and there's really no great exponential growth, you continue to do that with what you know, where do you think it's going to get you, right? But there is a layer of confidence and presentation that you should have when you go into a customer's home, or if a customer's coming to you. The presentation should separate you from your competitors right away. Right? You're focused on this one service, you have systems in place and you're organized, you have this beautiful presentation that is just going to really separate you from the competitors and win that customer over. And that's why there is a layer of confidence, because there should be passion behind it. And when there's passion behind it, you're explaining your core values, your customer service. You've been doing this for so long, you really care about the customer. All these different layers are really going to be what separates you. Passion, pride, and expertise. And it really comes down to creating the best service you can and creating the best customer experience you can. When you can do both of those things, and that's also one of your core focuses because you really care about that stuff, the best service and product, and then also best customer experience, that is the icing on the cake at the end of the day. Because when you have these systems in place, when you know that you have a predictable way of generating leads and then fulfilling them and selling them, and then the icing on the cake is they have such a great product at the end and customer experience, and then you leverage that for referrals, your business is just going to grow. I love the saying, if you're not growing, you're dying. So right now, you really got to think about your business. And I think about this all the time. If we're not growing and we're not expanding, not just growing also financially, growing in every area of our life, when we're not growing, we're dying. Something's dying in there. So we want to always be growing. We have to be open to learning. We have to be open to exploring and pushing ourselves for more greatness. I know that we really covered a lot of unique stuff, but I do want to wrap this up with that one thing that I said that I would come back to, because I do believe that search engine optimization and Google My Business, which is now Google Business Profile, they renamed it, is such an incredible marketing tool for your local business. Now, unlike paid ads, paid ads, when someone's on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, those are great avenues. So I'm not saying you don't want to do them, but just like everything else, you don't want to jump into every platform and just start spending money everywhere doing things, especially if you're not an expert at one thing. Comes back to what I'm saying, and you're not focused on one thing to start generating your leads. All of a sudden you're all over the place, your marketers are all over the place, right? They're not really generating you leads that they say they are, because you got a million different things going on. But if we just come in and we focus on this one thing, which is Google My Business, if this is utilized right, I'm watching businesses 4 times their growth, 5 times their growth. And it's because they're able to position themselves for search intent terms. So again, if we come back to a roofer, if someone's typing in East Hampton roofers or roof replacement contractor East Hampton, and you're the roofer in that local area and you're popping up in the maps, now you're generating those eyeballs towards your listing. And then within that, we all know everyone's using Google. It's the #1 search engine, but locally what they're doing is they're looking at the star ratings. So what we like to do too is push up and boost those star ratings. So now if you're at 105 stars and you're in that map for these search terms, and then there's someone around you or above you or under you, and they only have 25 stars, who do you think that person's gonna click on? right? So the conversion's higher for you when your review ratings are going up. So we're boosting your review ratings. We're getting you positioned for those key terms. Now that person clicks on that, they can either fill out something on your site, they see some of your work portfolio, there's numbers all over, click to call. Most of them want to call right away. Sometimes they call right from the Google My Business and they want an estimate. And then those other components kick in. Nurturing those leads, getting those estimates, selling them, right, with presentation, and then the fulfillment, and then turning them into a raving fan because of how good the experience and customer journey was for them. The one thing I really wanted to share with you is the Google My Business. I know many local businesses think that the answer is, I just need more leads. And that's why I wanted to start off going over many other things that I see become an issue, because you can get as many leads as you can right now, but can you really handle them? Do you really have the systems and processes in place? Do you really have the team? Do you really have the hiring process? And do you really have the talent? Are you really hiring the right talent to actually build a real culture and team to fulfill on this? Are you really focused on that one service, right? Just all the way back to that beginning, that one service to become an expert. Is your product and service really so good? That's so good that you feel that you are the best at that in your local area. And when you can say yes to that and you know you have that, that's when you have to start really working on systems, hiring the right talent, really stepping back and starting just to really give a little bit more control to a team of people that are going to be able to fulfill this, and then really slamming the marketing really hard. But when I'm saying that is taking control yourself and really understanding like, hey, I heard about this Google business profile and SEO, search engine optimization. It's tied to your website. When you can get your Google My Business and your website ranked organically, you're not paying for this for clicks, like paid advertisement, you're spending money on clicks. This is an investment, you're going to spend money, but most of the time, once you do your investment over a few months, after that, the maintenance is very affordable. I'll say that. The maintenance is very affordable compared to the other avenues. And their leads are undeniably better because they're people that are looking for your exact service and they're coming to you with a problem for you to solve. And then it's up to you to deliver and sell them and create a customer journey by giving them the best product and service that you can. I hope that made a lot of sense. If you have any questions about anything that I went over, definitely leave your comments down below. I'll also leave a link up in the corner and also down below of a video that I went over on how to optimize your GMB. So if you do have a local business or you're interested in optimizing a local GMB, I'll leave that link down below so you could see that. Also, my team and I were working on something very special for local businesses called the GMB Domination Blueprint. It's not ready yet, but I will leave a link down below and you could click on it depending on when you're watching this video. If that is actually available, you can see what that's all about as well. It's a very powerful thing for a local business. And I'll end off on this note. When I'm saying focus on one thing for your service, it's the same thing as mastering that one thing that's actually going to feed your business. That first component we talk about, which is leads, getting that one thing that starts feeding your business. From there, of course, in the future, there's so many other ways that we're doing. We're leveraging advertisement. Like we are doing retargeting. So someone hits your site, they leave, you can retarget them. You can spend money on different paid avenues. So if you're not leveraging Google My Business yet, or you feel that you're weak in that area and it's not to the level that it should be, you should know your business. You should know what type of service you have in your local area. All you got to do is start searching those terms and seeing where you are, what are your review ratings. Definitely check out that Google My Business Domination Blueprint and see what that's all about. I hope that you found a lot of value in this video. If you did, please click that like button, subscribe if you like this type of content, and I will see you in the next video.